Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Special thank you to our sponsors, Mugs Coffee House at 550 Main Street in Lebanon, Oregon. For more information, go to mugslebanon.com. And Carrie Whitlatch and Farmers Insurance. For all your insurance needs, call 541-258-3995. Good morning, everybody. It is a happy Monday, and I guess it may not be morning where you are, but wherever you are, whatever time of day it is, happy Monday. I am so excited to start a new week. Always love to start it with Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. You know, we're here to spread positivity, spread light, you know, in the midst of the crazy world we live in. And I am so blessed that I get to share it with wonderful people. You know, we're all about amazing people who connect. Today, it is no different. An amazing friend, an amazing connector, Rob Statham, is with us today to talk about life, to talk about connection, to talk about the drunken grape, to talk about entrepreneurship, whatever he wants to talk about. But you know what? Mostly spreading a positive message on how we can build community and bless others. And that is what I love so much about him. So we're going to get into that really quickly. But first, for those of you that don't know me, I am Russ Hedge. I am an inspiration specialist. I'm a marketing coach. I'm a keynote speaker. As you can probably tell, I love to talk. I love to be with people. And if I can bless you and your group, I would love to come in, spread encouragement, joy, purpose, positive mindset. There's so much that I can do to enrich and add value to your life. And I would love to do that. And also, I'm the author of Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose. So excited. Just had a book signing this past weekend, and also going to have a big 1-year anniversary celebration promotion coming up around my book. Really, it's there to help you live the life you choose, to encourage you to get out there, make the best of what happens to you. You know, you get to choose your mindset. You get to choose your attitude. You get to choose how you move forward with whatever happens to you. And, you know, I understand. I don't know all that's going on in your life. I understand that things are happening that are not always good, but we can take those and move those in a positive direction. And I believe God works all things for the good. And so that's what I'm here to do, is to spread positivity, goodness, and joy. So anyway, that is, I believe, enough about me, except for to remind you that every Monday and Thursday, we're here on Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie, at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. That's 8 a.m. Pacific Time here on the West Coast. And you can join us every Monday and Thursday. Also, we have Live with Russ Has Got the Experience. Live with Russ Has Got every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. That's every Wednesday. Join Scott and I as we have great guests. Rob's been on the experience as well. I had him on, and it's just a great place to talk about the experience of life. One last thing I want to tell you about, and I'll remind you at the end, and that is have an outstanding panel this coming Wednesday at noon for Russ Reels Live, my third show. And Russ Reels Live is going to be awesome. We're talking about midweek mindset. Midweek mindset. And I have a panel of outstanding, incredible people this Wednesday. So look for that. I'm sure it'll pop up in the comments. You'll be able to click on that and make sure that you put the reminder so you remember to show up on Wednesday. So, okay, that's it. Time to bring Rob in because I'm super excited to get talking. Here he comes, Mr. Rob Statham. How's it going?
Hey Russ, thanks for having me. This is great. What a great intro. What a great series. I love the musical interlude as we walk into the show itself. It's awesome.
You know, I love that music too, and I'm very partial to it because it's all put together, written and produced by my son. And so I always tell people if you want to have outstanding music for your online shows, message me. I'll put you in connection with him. But he is an outstanding musician out of LA, and he can help you out with that. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love that too. And yes, it's Monday. I have so much energy. I'm ready to go. How about you?
Yeah, it's already been a zoo this morning, as you know, going into the green room quickly before coming on this call. Sorry for getting there almost at the last minute, but yeah, no, it's been a manic Monday, but a great Monday to start the week. I mean, it's all mindset, right? As you mentioned,
Yep.
we always have to deal with stressful situations. Things come across the desk. You either react or respond.
Yep.
I like the response side of things. Reaction never works out. And, I, even got caught in a short debate with somebody in the restaurant end of things that, are a great friend of mine that didn't like the fact that I think wages should go up. This is a different subject, but I had to blow that off and just go, it's things just need to improve.
Yeah, well, that everybody can agree with that, that things just need to improve. And I think that is life in general. That's what I love about you, Rob, is that you, number one, are about being positive, moving forward in a positive direction. You have a positive mindset. You're working to build community. And, I just think it's amazing the things that you've done to bless other people. So let me give you a moment here for the one or two people that don't know you. Tell them a little bit about the Drunken Grape, how you got started, the cool online stuff you're doing, and then how you're translating that into community.
Well, just to talk quickly about the positive mindset, that comes from really having to deal with adversity. I've dealt with loss, I've dealt with setbacks, in our whole life, my whole life, I've always had to triumph over some form of adversity. And I think that the only way to really come out and boom with it is to always look at the glass like it's half full. And, this is preluding into the story of the Drunken Grape. So, I had a business partner. I was in IT. We were doing solution selling. This is going back 11 years ago. I left that. He hit the bottle far too much. Then he ripped off a pile of people, including myself. So I was looking to pivot and I was thinking of project management. And my late father, I grew up with him making wine and beer. He was a home brewer and winemaker. He had volumes of books on it, knew a lot about it. And I think a lot of it came from his background of being in the Navy and traveling. Naval at the time was quite romanced into rum. And on Canadian ships, unlike American ships, you could drink. So he had time to kill, likely, and started researching and reading about it and really developed this massive passion for wine and beer making. So I'm at his house one night having dinner. I brought over a decent bottle of wine. At the point in time, I knew nothing about wine. And he looked at me and said, "Why do you want to study project management? That path is just going to get beaten. Sure, it'll enhance someone's salary, but there's going to be a point where just project management alone is not going to give somebody a career." And he's actually correct. That's exactly what has happened with the whole PMP process. If you're already involved in it, then it can help you. If you're jumping into something new, you need experience before you can even move the needle. So I decided to go into the wine and beer world. So I started studying wine. And then I started working for a company called Groovy Grapes. It was an event company here in Ottawa. They're now no longer exist. They asked me to take over their TV spots. So I did that and went really well because I had 20 some odd years, almost 20 years of experience on stage, being an assistant cruise director and an art auctioneer in the cruise line industry. And it was funny because they presented me the franchise opportunity that just didn't really suit my purposes. So I decided to go on my own. So I was thinking of this name 6 years ago at Canadian Thanksgiving. And my stepmother looks at me and she goes, "Why don't you just call it the Drunken Grape?" And we just started laughing. I said, "There's not a chance that name is available." Sure enough, it was. And I tried to get the .com. I got the .ca here in Canada, but somebody owned the .com in England. So when I actually became a registered trademark, we'd offered money to buy it out, undisclosed sums, and they would have done well just getting that sale. I ended up buying it on GoDaddy.com on back order for $9 US. They dropped it. So that's sort of the start of it all. That cemented the .com. For a while, I was indeterminate as to really what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to do live events. Live events are very, very competitive in this city. It's a government city. So moving entrepreneurship was already a challenge in a public sector mindset environment. And a lot of it was all swallowed up by baby boomers, largely. That generation had really hawked up a lot of the business, had the political connections for 20 some odd years. So I did chug along with some live events and chugged along with some videography work for wineries and breweries. And you can go to the YouTube channel and see that, The Drunken Grape, and some of the earlier work. So when the pandemic hit, I had a choice to either just fold like a lot of people or pivot. So I said, wait a second here. I'm good at presenting live. Why don't we go virtual? So I hit the switch to virtual, and it has steadily taken off and done well. I mean, I would be lying to say it's not a struggle and a constant growth. You got to constantly push the meter and work hard, but it really has taken off. And with the pandemic, we've seen corporate travel plummet. That's never going to come back. We see that a lot of the corporate events for, under 100 people, where they had to fly some people in and they had to take all the time to plan it, worry about inclement weather, or they're pulled away from their friends and family or their family and loved ones from home. That is all gone now. And you go virtual. You have much better engagement. It brings the entertainment into their home. If they have young children or pets to take care of, it makes that much more functional. And on the company end, it wipes out a lot of costs. So this has really taken off in a very, very positive framework. And I think going back to what you said about positivity, had I chose to look at the glass as half empty and not half full, I don't think this ever would have taken off.
Right, right. Well, what's interesting is it's completely your perspective and your outlook. And the people that pivoted, which a lot of people did, and realized they had to adjust life to make things work, have really made such a positive impact, even in the midst of all the challenges we've had. I mean, I just love what you've done, because who would think in your business that it would be able to translate into virtual, but it did. And that is where community comes in. So let me just do a couple shout outs here, because we love community.
Hey, Osama!
So Osama is awesome. This is our worldwide community.
Yes.
Dimitri, incredible. Elizabeth, a new friend that's going to be on my midweek mindset coming up this Wednesday. She is awesome. We're going to chat later on today again. And there's just so many good people. Gabe, that is constantly promoting community and helping people out. My wonderful, fabulous team member who helps me all the time ever, who's been incredible, a good friend. She is here today helping us behind the scenes. And just having people like these people I mentioned, Cherie, who just jumped in from Beverly Hills. Awesome. Cherie is incredible as far as promoting and blessing other people. And, this is what you have done. When I woke up one Friday, Rob, and you had your Friday feature, and there was my picture, and there was all this nice glowing stuff that you made up about me. No, I'm just kidding. That you said about me, and all this and wonderful, and what you did. It was really blessed my heart. But it also, what it does every week when you do that is you're highlighting and building people that are trying to work together to make positive things happen. Whether you're in wine tasting, whether you're in marketing, whether you're in manufacturing, whatever business you're in, people are working together to build community, bless each other, and make things
Yes.
happen on a virtual level.
Yeah, no, you're so right. And community is crucial. I mean, you think back, I mean, there's still an old guard out there that thinks social media is useless. That they still think that, you know, D. Scott Williams, is that his last name? It's your partner in crime. Wonderful
Smith,
guy.
D. Scott Smith.
D.
Smith,
Scott Smith. So that's on your other show that you have that
right.
you share with him. I put a post up on engagement pods, which I think are a cancer to LinkedIn. That's just my view. Because what it does is it actually stifles the community and the engagement. If you open up the doors for people to communicate more, we have a way better community.
Right.
By hijacking it and trying to influence what people say, it stifles it, and that's not good. And the other part of it is, and I think we can definitely agree on that one. And the other thing is, so Scott put up this thing talking about what careers people enjoy, and it had doctor at the top. It had no entrepreneurship listed in there. It had social media manager near the basement of it all. And I'm just thinking, this list was clearly written by somebody who had a dated view, because with the way things have changed and the essence of building community, it's never been a better time to be an entrepreneur. And it's never been a better time to be on social media as a connector, particularly if you can turn it into a monetary, has some type of monetization, which people have.
Right.
You
Right.
know, and this is the thing, and this is where LinkedIn's such a great community,
Right.
because it is based on a business metric or a career metric. So really the essence of community is to help each other and help each other positively move forward.
Right. And
And
be creative, right, Rob?
yeah,
I mean, be creative and come up with things we can do together. Just like my show coming up this Wednesday, I love bringing people together. And a lot of times, like I had a Russ Reels last Friday with three ladies that had never met each other. And they all meet online while we're doing the show. And then they're all excited. And then they all connect and they start doing things. It's exciting what we can do when we work together. Because as I always say, I didn't make this up, but it's true. We are better together, right?
yes. Yeah, well, it's the old acronym, right? Team meets together, everyone achieves more. And
That's right.
it's a powerful concept. And it, you know, it takes a bit of our time. You know, the average human spends probably about 95% of their time thinking about themselves. And this is actually true, psychologically proven formulas. You know, they've done numerous tests on this. But the ones that are more self actualized and the ones that actually succeed more think a bit less of themselves. So, where do you think that energy goes? The energy goes to community.
Yep.
And if you take a look at the greatest leaders throughout history, they realized community was at the essence of the core of success. Even ruthless tyrants like Genghis Khan figured that out.
Right.
That within inside his own unit, if he had loyalty and community, he would hold on to power and he would have much happier people. I
Right.
mean, it's an extreme example, but it's an example of community at all, working at all levels, not only presently, but throughout history and moving towards the forward into the future. Obviously, we want an egalitarian type playing field. And one way of doing that is just to help each other.
Right. Yeah, no, it is. And the thing is, people, I think an old mindset was to build ourselves up and make ourselves look good. And then we would be successful because everybody would think that we've got it all together. Where the truth is, caring about people and building others up is so much more effective. John Maxwell says, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yes, I love
People
that
don't,
saying.
yeah, people don't care about those kind of things. If you want people to be interested, be interesting. I mean, it says backwards. If you want interest from others, you have to be interested in them, is basically the quote. I said it wrong, but that's the whole thing. I'm interested in what you're doing, Rob. I'm interested in the wonderful
Thank
outreach
you, man.
and connection that you have developed through your business. So, and we've talked about it before. I'm not even a wine drinker. I don't even drink, but I still love you and I love all that you're doing because that's not primarily what you're about.
No, and it's to bring happiness to the world. If somebody asks me why I'm in this field, the number one reason is it brings joy. You know, for those I know, some don't drink, such as yourself, and I've got friends that are in the same pattern, but the majority of people do. And even those that don't drink realize that there's a celebratory aspect within moderation. And I always stress that, within moderation,
Right.
with any kind of alcoholic beverage, particularly wine and beer, which are deep rooted in celebratory occasions and having fun.
That's right.
And it's so good to be in a piece of business that focuses on bringing joy and happiness, because you know what, there's never enough of it in the world. Somebody can tell me, yeah, you can look at you and say, why are you so positive? Aren't you too positive? Well, I think we need more positivity. And the world shows this all over the place. There is division like there's never been before on this planet on many things. In some ways, we haven't evolved over thousands of years. And I think what the pandemic did in this specific period of time is it woke us up, and it woke us up to a lot of things that need to change. And for those that are positive out there and positive agents of change, this is going to make the world a whole lot better place. It's like yourself with your show. It's like Osama. You have Gabe Leal, you have Nancy Burroughs and Brian Schulman, Tim Sohn. You have Scott Smith. You have a whole host, Russ Johns. You got a host of people doing
Right.
great things out there. I'm just naming a small few on this spectrum. You got Brian Burke, the Mac Man, who's always has some positive things to say. It's just, and that is community. I mean,
Right.
community is about building each other up, not tearing each other down. It takes, and it only takes a second to destroy things, but the impact is lasting in a very dark and negative way. Why would we want to go there? Let's just take each other, raise each other up.
Yeah, and you're so right. So I want to go back to what you said about spreading joy to people, bringing people together, through wine tasting or whatever. Now, I'm a coffee lover.
I love coffee.
That's my
cup of
yes.
coffee in here.
And there's nothing I love better than a coffee meeting and coming together with people over coffee. So it's the same idea. It's bringing people together. It's making people feel good about spending time with each other, building that community. And, you're so right. We need to be focusing on the positive things that are continuing to come out of negative situations. And I just want to highlight this because I think it's very important today, because a lot of times people don't take time to remember and be thoughtful. But Cherie, who has been a huge supporter, just brought up the fact about Colin Powell today. And,
I read that.
The reason I want to bring that up is not to be a negative. It is hard for some people. He was, no matter what people thought of Colin Powell, one way or the other, he was a history changer in a lot of areas. And what's important is to remember that there's people out there that are having challenges, suffering and dying in this case, but we can come together and we can make a difference as people in spite of what's going on around us, in spite of death, in spite of negative things in life. Doesn't mean we don't mourn, doesn't mean we don't have times to be sad, but we can do that together. And that's what community does. Community does what you said, lifts each other up, builds each other up, is there for each other. When I had COVID back, a couple months ago, people by the thousands came around me and supported me. And really, the only reason I posted on Radiating Real, Nancy's thing, was to tell people, in spite of this, you can still be positive and you can lift up other people. I was trying to be positive. In the midst of all that, my heart grew about 10 times. I was like the Grinch. My heart grew so big because of the love that I got from people that took a moment, that actually cared what I was going through. I thought, that is amazing. And that is how we stand for each other. We lift each other up. We love each other in the midst of challenge.
Yeah, and you nailed it with the whole radiating real. You're right. I mean, and this is really about radiating real. It's, it is real. We will have struggles. You will have to get up and fight for what you believe in. I was challenged today on a stance that I think, minimum wage workers in fast food and retail outlets should be paid better. And that means change. I mean, why would you want a pile of indentured servants in the economy? I mean, that's a view. But it's just, with these beliefs of making things better, people will challenge you. And sometimes you just have to accept it and you pull out the war sword and go to war. I mean, it's just, you got to be a rock too. And part of being and growing into success is becoming very strong on the inside and not being shaken because somebody challenges you. And
don't you feel too, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was going to say, don't you feel that positive challenge sharpening each other is a good thing. We don't all agree on
Yes.
everything, and that
Right.
actually that's a good thing. If we
Yes.
all agreed on every single thing, it'd be kind of boring, and we wouldn't
We'd
really
be in
go
trouble.
anywhere. Yeah,
Yeah, we'd be in trouble. But when somebody tries to criticize you, you take out the
yes,
sword and go to war.
sure.
Do
Oh
not
yeah,
tolerate that crap. And I mean, this is just being radiating real, and this is all part of being strong about being positive in your belief system.
right.
For us that have faced loss, us that have had challenges, and I think that just encompasses pretty much everybody watching the show and everybody on the platform. You have a choice. You get strong within yourself, or you conform and bend, and that doesn't achieve anything either. And this is just all part of Radiating Real. When you reached out about COVID on Radiating Real, you did it from a very real perspective. You turned around and said, "Hey, this is just really what it is."
Yeah.
And
Well,
I'm sorry to hear about Colin Powell. Colin Powell, I read that today, and I'm not sure if he was vaccinated or not. That there's an article that kind of alluded to the fact he was not.
yeah,
And it doesn't matter, because you're right. Whether you like him or hate him on the political spectrum, and this isn't a political debate, he did change history. I think, was he the first Black Joint Chief of Staff head?
hmm,
And then
yeah,
was he not Secretary of State at one point
yes,
too?
yes, he was. Yeah.
And
And
it's
excuse me, I'm sorry. I didn't
that's
mean to
okay.
interrupt there. I was actually coughing.
No, that's okay. That's okay. But I mean, it's to remember that all change does come about um, with the struggle, but it's our choice to look at the glass half empty or half full. And
Well,
it's positive realism.
yes, yes, and that is so true because, you know, I this is just my personality. Some of us have it easier. I am my mother's
Yeah.
son who was super positive, overflowing with joy. That's my mother. And so I always say that there's people that are glass half empty, glass half full. I'm the glass overflowing because
Nice.
that's me, I mean, that's just the way I live. And I'm blessed to be that way because it makes it easier for me. If you're not born that way with the kind of personality I have, some people struggle more with that. But we all have to remember, as I say with my book, we all get to live the life we choose. We can be an actor, not a reactor. We can turn things to the positive or to the negative. We get to choose. And there's so many people that say, yeah, but you have no idea all the pain and misery I'm going through. And I always say, you're right. I have no idea what you're going through in your life. And I am so sorry if you're going through tragic pain and misery. I am. But we all still get to choose where we go from there. And that is the message that I constantly want to push forward, is that we all get to choose where we go. Life happens and then we get to choose. And you
Yeah,
have
and
chosen right.
you're right. And for every adversity, there is an equal or greater benefit on the other side of that road.
That's right.
And it's I've been accused of okay, so he was vaccinated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm still so sorry to hear it regardless. I mean, he
Yeah.
was a game changer in history, and nobody deserves to go out that way. I
No,
mean,
no.
that's just a nasty way to go. I mean, we're all going to go at one day at a time, but hopefully all peacefully in our sleep with a smile on our face at the age of at least a century. But it's just yeah, God bless him and his family. But you're looking at the whole other side of it. It's just, we do have a choice to embrace others, and we do have a choice to create malice or share love. And I think a lot of it also comes from removing our own personal bias and looking at things in a broader lens.
Yes.
And starting to see things, and building community it's really important to knock our bias aside, and it's also really important to look at the view from, well, what is that person feeling, what are they thinking, be empathic about it, because empathy goes a long way, and it goes a long way in just trying to understand someone from their point of view.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're right, we're going to have different views, and there often is many ways to tackle a problem, not just one. And you got to see where they're coming from. And I think that's really important in
Yeah.
life, in business, in your relationships. The happiest relationships, marriages with loved ones, come from having that understanding and having a balance in it, and trying to remove your own personal bias, because we all have one, right?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And well, that's the thing too, that I think that everybody, we all need to step back, and I'll just talk for me. I think we're always pointing at other people. I want to talk about myself. I need to step back and be more thoughtful of other people. And I try really hard to do that, but it's a constant battle because our biases and our things get in the way. And people are people, okay? And I remind myself that of all the time. I've met some larger political leaders in our area that I don't agree with pretty much on anything on politically, but they were very nice people. I had a nice conversation. I had a nice lunch with them. I looked at them and I said, these are people that are trying to do their best and they are going forward in the direction they think. And I might not disagree, I might not agree with that. But that doesn't mean that I have to tear people down. I can choose to build people up. I can choose, Rob, if I don't agree with you, I can choose to agree with you on the things that I do agree with. I can choose to say,
Yeah.
you're awesome, man. You have a great smile. You're a positive influence on people. You're spreading joy. And I agree with all those things, and that's the way we should be. I think we should be finding common ground.
Yeah, and you can be a bridge or a battering ram. It's your choice, right? And we know that if you're a battering ram, there's always going to be consequence to every action.
Right.
And for people that go and attack people for different views, usually they leave the room even more bitter, even more angry, especially if the other person walked away and just dropped the conversation, just shrugged it off their shoulders. And it's important to just understand that and let it go. And people are going to have
Right.
differences with you, and just you're right. And the positive people and the people with the right mental framework take those differences and learn from them, because sometimes we're the problem in the equation, and you have to admit it.
There you go. And we have to be big enough to admit that sometimes we're the problem in the equation. And that is, we need to write that down. Usama, give me some more fire on that. That was fire. That's it. Okay,
Boom.
there it is. There it is. There it is. All right. Well, hey, I was going to say that Jenny also made a really good point. And community should be about bringing people together. And I'm
Yes.
not going into anything because it's not my life, but Jenny has had some challenges. And she, in the midst of all of that, remains positive, remains joyful, and it's not easy sometimes. And so I just want to, my hats off to Jenny. Prayers are with her, and she is an amazing person in spite of what's going on. Usama's given us more fire. Again, there we go. And so, yeah. Hey, listen, I hate to be the
Love
bad guy.
that
I always
guy's
have to.
energy.
Oh, I know, me too. I've got to wrap this up. Time's over. I've actually let it run over because this is an awesome conversation. But Rob, listen, tell everybody last word and how do people get in touch with you?
Well, they can reach out to me through rob at thedrunkengrape.com. It's my direct email address. If you have any questions on the whole virtual event space, wine, spirits, beer, virtual dinner parties, you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm pretty prolific there. I've got my own profile. I think it's at LinkedIn. I am Rob Statham, or you've got the Drunken Grape LinkedIn page. Those are the best ways to reach out. Also, feel free to check out the YouTube channel. I invite you to subscribe to it. It's the Drunken Grape is the name of the YouTube channel, but these are all great mediums to reach out and connect. And it's awesome that we're in this world today that we can reach out and connect and, again, just build each other up, support
Right.
each other. We're going to have differences, but the key for this world to really evolve and move forward is to drop that petty, childish 5-year-old game, become adults and embrace each other. And I'm a huge believer in that. And that comes with being positive
That's right. That's right. Oh, I couldn't agree
and
more.
love. And
Love each
love.
other. Yes. We go a lot further with love and kindness. And
Oh yeah.
instead of accentuating our differences, find common ground so we can build from that. And I just believe that's so true. So, hey, Rob, I love you, man. You are a bright shining light in this world, and I am. It's a pleasure for me, and it adds value to my life to have you as my friend. So, thank you.
Yeah, you too. And also for quite a few of the people watching this, you're wonderful people.
Yes.
I see Sherry's comment around here, not believing what's in the media, 40 years. Let's learn from each other's culture. Yes. And, Sherry, a lot of people wouldn't know this, judging by the look of my skin, being white, but my mother's from Guyana, South America. I grew up in a multicultural family where there's some Asian, there's Amerindian, there's a bit of Black, there's Portuguese. I mean, there's a whole mixing pot. So I totally agree with you 100%. I grew up seeing some prejudice towards them, and it's not cool. And love is the way to conquer it. It's the only way to cross it. That's it.
Yes. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So, well, listen, we're going to, you know what? If Emily was here, she'd be laughing because I'm going to say, Rob, we're going to have to schedule after this another part 2 so we can continue this conversation because this has been so
Let's
good.
do it.
So, yeah, appreciate you. I'm going to send you out to the green room. Hang tight. I'll see you in just a minute. Hey, everybody. Wow. Comments keep coming. I appreciate you all, in this community, talking to one another, building each other up. As the show goes on, I love the interaction and the engagement, and I appreciate that. And, Sherry said it so good. We need to love one another. And what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It was a great song from the 70s. It's so true. If we build each other up, if we help make each other better, it makes a better world for all of us. So thank you. Thank you for being part of my community. Thank you all for adding value to my life. I think sometimes I get more out of these shows than you do. When I started this podcast years ago, I had reasons for why I wanted to do it. And I think it's grown into the fact that it helps people just come together in unity and love, moving forward in positivity. And it makes a difference because we can all be world changers. We can all be world changers. We can do amazing things if we choose to do that. Remember, you can live the life you choose. And if you haven't got a copy of my book, by the way, quick commercial, if you would read that, you can get it on my website. RussHedge.com is my website. I'm going to throw that up as we are talking, RussHedge.com. And you can go to Buy Book Now and you get my book. Or you go on Amazon or any online booksellers. Sometimes I love just to look at all the places they sell it. Walmart.com, Target.com, BarnesandNoble.com, all kinds of booksellers. You can get it anywhere. And I hope it encourages you to live the life you choose. I really do. That's what it was all about. And also, you can, on my page, you can connect with me. All my links for connection, my website, my email, all my social media, and you can even schedule time on my calendar. Connect directly with me. I would love to talk with you if we've not connected. So I think that just about wraps things up. See if we have any more comments here. Yes, there's just so many good comments there that I don't have time to put any more up. But I want to thank you guys for being here today. Thank you. Bless you. Please share this with your friends. What a great conversation today. And it's all about how amazing people connect. Rob is definitely one of those amazing people. So are all of you watching. Share this with your friends. Subscribe to my YouTube page. Go to Russ Hedge on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube page for all of the back content and all the future coming podcasts. So appreciate you all. We'll talk to you soon. Have an awesome day and an awesome life. Remember, every Monday and Thursday, we're here, 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. See you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.